I'm on the ball.
You're usually the person who does that.
I know. I don't remember you talking about it like it was like last week, I think, Manaki. It's
It's like, loading command, Grimith has connected. Like, oh.
You're like, how did you know that? I'm like a fucking
right
oracle.
Second.
Yeah.
Gryph is channeling my powers.
It's the Grimith Gryph combo. Wow.
Go get your damn pancakes.
Okay.
Okay,
I
Dad.
will. Whether you like it or not,
Fine.
I will like it.
So, I suppose just a little bit of a question, Grimith. Do I have any idea of what she is? Like, what sort of being?
The best guess would be no.
Well, if that's the best guess, then
That's a shitty guess.
Yep.
that's pretty much.
She's definitely a human woman. Unclothing her, it showed all the secondary sexual characteristics of, her being a humanoid female. But she's like Asthma are like the holy ones might be the best guess, but they don't have wings. Like, there's no, humanoid that you could think of, off the top of your head that would appear like she does, and also have, wings attached to them as well.
I mean, it's really not that important, but it was just, in curiosity. Aranas probably wouldn't care much, but I, as a player, I mean,
yes, it's a fairness, in which case, it's no, humanoid race that is advertised as being around in the 13th Age. She is a, other than the intense orange blaze and the fact that she might very well have had wings once upon a time embedded in her shoulders. Yeah, she's human.
The multi-age lifespan also probably.
Yeah, there's that
Not
too.
that human.
That too. Humans, even with the benefit of magic, got maybe 200-300 years tops. And that's the most powerful humans. The Archmage is close to the end of his time. He's been around since before the Blue took control of that the ruins that are now Dragonhall. And he was campaigning mightily for the Blue to not have that power even back then. So he's been sitting on his loathing for the past 2 centuries.
Yeah. Well, if he probably suffers the wizard's curse of being unable to explain anything to people much stupider than him, which is absolutely infuriating.
Yes, almost everyone in the Dragon Empire and beyond would qualify as stupider than him.
Oh, damn it.
And he would think that everyone is.
He's in a world populated by dogs, and none of them understand the true danger that they're placing themselves in. Yeah, that wizard snobbiness. Well,
Well, if there's any other roleplay that you folks want to take care of, certainly now would be the time. Eventually, after the priestess has eaten, she is going to leave her room unless Aranas or Jasmine physically stop her, like the room where you brought her up, and she's going onto the top of the ship, where the sailors are going to pretty much fucking panic all over again.
Did you
Don't
believe it?
panic! Don't panic!
Because as it turns out, human-looking creatures with orange glowing eyes exist, about never.
Yeah.
We had a druid with glowing eyes. but-
Poor sailors.
Yes, Fargus had those fucking, those solid orbs of light.
Yeah, and he got some looks.
Yeah. He had, his antler stabbed too, because, he's just a fucking druid.
Yep.
Oh, what these people definitely know is that, yeah, okay, Aranas brought, a dead person who kind of looked like that onto the ship. And now she's alive again. The fuck?
well, I imagine
Necromancy can do that.
Aranas has this. A resurrection is no small deal. It is pretty much the hugest deal in divine magic that can be done, and it can only be done a certain number of times because the body simply cannot handle that sort of divine energy going through it. It's something that leaves its own scars.
Yes, from
I think-
lore. Go ahead.
Aranas now has sort of a more of a glow to him. He has, like, basically the goddess was within him, speaking through him in a more direct way than a mortal mind and body can really support. He is powerful enough and has a powerful enough faith that it is possible in the first place. But beyond that, it is something that has marked him forever.
Yes.
It is probably, even to those who might know what to look for, visible that this sort of power has gone through him,
Yes.
and even what faith has set it upon him.
Which in some sense makes Aranas a target. From a lore perspective, powerful individuals want resurrections in the pocket. And they will, some of them who are have no scruples, or might be outright evil, they will collect people who are capable of resurrecting. Just so that, worst case, they'll be brought back to life. There are few in the world who can perform such a feat as Aranas just has. And their talents are always looked for. Sort of like in Shadowrun, when you've got when you're like one of the 1%, like an awakened. Corporation always wants you.
Mm-hmm.
Low supply, high demand.
Yes, in this particular case, really low supply of resurrection people. Really high demand for those.
Yeah.
Gods really don't favor their power being given out at auctions, though. So,
There's that, and you can only do a resurrection a few times before it just outright kills you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes,
But I like to believe it's been a physical change as well as a mental one.
certainly. And manifest itself just like that. Yes. Eventually, though, before we continue on, like the rest of the roleplay, like travel as you guys head to Horizon, Priestess Malia will make her way, like, out of the room and onto, like, the top of the ship. And as noted, sailors, she's back! Demon! Succubus! Zombie!
So Geráck will try to calm them down. I assume the rest of the party will as well. But
Yes, as will Jasmine as well, as she did, for example, going through the dam, like, on the way here, trying to calm him down.
now, did Aranas tell Geráck that he was going to resurrect the?
No, because he didn't know that was gonna.
So Geráck will be a bit confused as well. But
Not panicking.
Yeah. no, not
I
panicking
mean,
because she's not hostile immediately. At least.
I mean, these guys, these were brought along with an icon relationship to IE5, but they were, they've seen a lot of shit just this past, like, week. They'll calm down.
Yeah.
There is so much superstition on this boat, though, right now. So much.
Give Geráck a look that says, much of just, yes, it is what it looks like.
Yeah, Geráck will basically just ask, so what is this all about?
The priestess will rotate her head slightly to look marginally down, because she's not that much taller than Geráck. It is curious, Geráck of House Zold, that you would persist in wearing your armor in such a hostile environment. She then casts a telling glance overboard.
I'm used to it. I would ask how is it you know my name, but I think I know already.
Good.
So Aranas brought you back, I assume.
If the priestess looks at Aranas and says, he doesn't get out much, does he?
Aranas sort of shakes his head. I do not like to. Well, no.
Aurelia nods.
Geráck sighs. Well, good, I guess.
I shall nod and say, it is what comes from faith. As I have said before, I have done little. It is the Lady of Shards who acts, and I am but the vessel of her will and her ability.
Yes.
To answer your question, Geráck, yes. Aranas brought me back.
Alright then. Well, that's good, I think. I assume you know much of this world, and it will be quite useful to us.
The priestess opens her lips to go through the process of answering Geráck, and then some movement catches her eye. She swivels her head and looks around Aranas.
Aurelia offers a simple nod in greeting. Doesn't really follow it up with anything.
She begins approaching.
Giving a slight nod to Aurelia that things are going to be okay.
She does look somewhat startled at the quick approach of this woman.
It's awkward, almost as if from the training that you received, monastic traditions and the Black Fang. Almost like a leaf on wind aspect. One moment she's standing next to Aranas, and then she casually brushes beside the both of them to quickly move up before Aurelia.
I have heard many things about you, and none of them I wish to repeat, as they are rather unpleasant, all of them.
She looks at Aurelia and then moves to hug her.
Aurelia blinks.
The priestess says, "It will be all right, Aurelia. I understand."
Thank you, I suppose.
The priestess, despite her recent death experience, is warm to the touch.
I can't say I understand who or what you are, but not only am I pleased to have you with us because you were something that our enemies wish to get rid of, I am simply happy to see you aboard, I suppose. This is rather unusual, I have to say.
She will let go of Aurelia, look up at her face, and Aurelia will smile. And she will say, "It is good that you have chosen to follow your own path. I am curious to see where it takes you."
To be quite honest, so am I. But I know that I have not yet regretted my decision, nor think that I ever will. It is a shame that not many have the opportunity to make the same revelation, the same, who manage to change their ways at all.
It is a curiosity that, dependence upon others. Who can say who you would have been had you not met Geráck?
Aurelia nods slowly.
But that is ponderings for philosophers, not us.
I was not the one who gave her the will to get out, though. She did that by herself.
Priestess looks back over her shoulder, nods at Geráck, looks back to Aurelia, and then hugs her again.
Aurelia, I think the most appropriate word would be is flabbergasted.
She'll actually, although like shorter and not as strong, will gently rock Aurelia's body from like side to side, almost treating her like she's a baby with a "shh, it'll be all right."
Aranas will move to give them space and basically pay attention to something else because he gets what's going on here.
I'm coming down the stairs.
Tempus will just be up in the rigging watching.
After 40 seconds that are perhaps highly awkward for Aurelia, the priestess will let go again.
Aurelia is quite frozen, and awkward would be an appropriate word to describe how she is currently not only acting but feeling. But she is just... there could be worse things.
How long ago is it that Aurelia has been hugged last?
You know, I would go so far as to say never.
All right.
Not that she knows anyway. Not that she remembers.
All right. Just curious.
After that, she'll look down, and it's a quick, almost blurring effect again, as she moves so comfortably through the air. Place one of her scarred hands on top of one of Aurelia's and says, "Before our work is done, we will find the gloom."
I am looking forward to it. If that is the right thing to do. Aurelia looks questioningly.
She says, "It is your thing to do."
Aurelia nods.
The priestess then half turns away at that point to look out at the water, and will finally give Aurelia some personal space.
Aurelia might as well be nailed to the deck at this moment. Unmoving, just confused, startled.
The priestess looks as if she has noticed none of these things.
Or she notices, she just doesn't care.
Tempus, if you're up there, can you undo that bit of rigging?
Which bit? The bit that I tied up, or the bit I messed up, or that bit over there?
That bit over there, look, point.
Fine. Tempus will start climbing up.
Your craft makes excellent time upon the waves, buoyed by strong winds and good fortune. Sahuagin raiders assault you at one point, suspecting easy prey, for it is a solitary ship that is not in the best state of repair. But your epic tier characters quickly rip them apart and cast their evil back into the water. Otherwise, you are untroubled. 6 days have passed since you left Dragonhall, and you awaken to curious happenings. Only yesterday, the sailors were huddled within thick clothes to protect themselves from the cold. Today, they're laughing, arms wide spread. The air is warm, and the day is so bright, as if spring arrived only last night. Dolphins swim merrily in the water, playing on either side of your ship.
What the hell just happened?
Where are we at this point?
The captain will inform you. He gets around to uttering a few words before they emerge from the skyline. Pertinax's Flying Realms. The story goes that he made these, built them all to prove his superiority to the Lich King. Whether that is true, their light floods the entire city of Horizon, city of wonders, city of secrets, with a golden hue.
So we have arrived. And it seems that the Archmage has not been idle.
Well, that is good.
Yes. As long as this action does not provoke the high druids further.
Well, yes, there's that.
Transferring you to another map. The waterways are busy here. All along the narrowing sea are other visitors. Many come to Horizon, hoping for some special symbol or sign, some incredible meaning hidden within the fabric of life. Perhaps you are like them. This is also the first of 3 times you visited Horizon where the city is glowing with such energy like this. Horizon's numerous harbors are crowded, but there is one notably large vacancy, perhaps reserved for someone important like you. Other vessels are directed away with a gust of wind from the city of Necessary, yet your ship seems almost pulled towards the opening. Nothing can be coincidence when the Archmage is involved.
We have crossed the event horizon.
Standing
Being sucked in.
Standing on the pier, next to the opening, is a large humanoid woman, her entire body the color of marble, including her armor, and her enormous maul. Really everything, which, well, probably means she isn't a humanoid. Anyone who has icon dice with the Archmage or Elf Queen, go ahead and roll them.
Yep.
That includes you, Sheep.
Okay.
You have Archmage dice.
I have so many.
Well, you didn't have to roll every... Look at all those 6s that went to heaven. Look at them.
Also, so many 6s.
Okay. For those of you who hit something with the Archmage, this is a Marble Golem. One of the most powerful golem types in the Dragon Empire. Marble Golems suit the Archmage's purposes and decorating sense. Because he loves fashion and power together. For the Elf Queen, this is a Marble Golem, and the Elf Queen loves using them. They were first made by the Dwarves, and she enjoys making better use of a tool than the Dwarves. The High Elves and the Dark Elves indulge the Queen's fancy by financing construction of Marble Golems.
Alright then. Not the first I've seen.
Yes, the sailors are understandably they're stricken in awe and wonder, because, wow, no visit to Horizon is it's always something new, something special, almost like Dragonhall in that sense.
A little more pleasant, perhaps.
I hope not.
I hope it's a bit more pleasant, but yeah.
You step off and the flying cities just begin to fall from the sky, crashing into the cities.
And for you, Gryph, this picture is from the book. This is not an exaggeration. This is literally how Horizon looks.
It's crazy. It's a crazy place.
Yeah, that's not like me fucking herder and we're having some sort of creative freedom. That is Horizon how it looks right now.
It's
coming in from the harbor.
Riddles everywhere that don't like you.
No.
The city has a personality, a flavor to it. It takes on the personality quirks of the current Archmage, whom, by the way, it is said... Well, it's not said, it's actually truth. He's the one who's responsible for all these flying realms. Every Archmage tends to try and demonstrate their own superiority to the Wizard King in varying ways. Pertinax has decided to just build fucking flying realms.
Good thing those didn't break.
Fail, yeah.
Yeah.
The ship, the sailors pull the ship up next to the pier. And right as they're getting it tied, the Marble Golem, who up to this point had been standing stoically, begins to move to life, stepping onto the ship, startling the crew.
This poor crew, they're traumatized.
Just calm
Welcome
down, goddammit.
to Horizon. I am Astrid. I am your guide. The Marble Golem sweeps a hand at you. 6. You are to be quartered in the House of the Silver Key for the duration of your visit. I will lead you there personally. The rest, she looks over the sailors, may stay, for now, within the Imperial guest houses. Others will lead you. The golem barely pauses, shifting its eyes back to you six. Are you ready to proceed?
I would think so.
Jasmine will nod.
Lead the way, Marble. Wait. Tempus totally forgets the name, distracted by the fact that she's made of marble. Astrid.
Yes. She will pivot on one of her marble boots and begin walking.
Does Aranas know how sentient these golems are?
Marble golems are typically created with emotion and like purpose, and as a result from their creators, every marble golem ends up being infused with virtues, which are like magical properties that relate to like the emotion of their creation. They can be sentient, particularly if some sort of spirit or vessel is embedded in them, and the Dwarf King likes to do that in particular because he likes like sentient guardians who are also willing servants, kind of like a slave thing. Kind of like a Forgeborn thing. And he was the first creator of marble golems. In this particular essence, while rare, this creature would not be unique.
Mm-hmm.
At least, she could just be given like greater freedom or allowance by her master. Or it, rather. Assigning it a gender would probably just be like more for like sanity's sake. But really, like, everything it's wearing is actually a part of it. Except for the maul.
Yeah.
The marble golem steps off the vessel and begins immediately weaving its way through the harbor. Doesn't really attract much in the way of attention from, like, onlookers and from people passing by. This is certainly not the strangest sight in Horizon.
Shit happens here.
It sure does. The city is bustling with activity, and for those of you who have any magical background or sense of magery, which would be Aranas, boy, is this a nexus of power. The ley lines here, Horizon was built in mind by all of these like ley lines of the Dragon Empire coalescing into, or not all of them, but most of them, like focusing on like one primal spot. And the Wizard King said, that's where I'm gonna build this motherfucker. And every Archmage since is like, that was a really good place to build this motherfucker. As a result, the city features ruins from the past. Even the flying realms, which were brought up from basically the city itself, Pertinax, changed lots of aspects, but not everything. There's just mannerisms that were left behind by the old Wizard King that are just too integral to how the city functions. Which is something that you folks who rolled prior hits with the Archmage there already would know. And the Elf Queen as well, since she does care deeply about magic.
Yeah.
There is also a prominent elven presence here in Horizon, too. A number of high elves have immigrated here long ago, and they like to show up the human wizards on occasion.
Obviously.
Yes.
The greater lifespan is great for becoming a better wizard than other wizards.
Showing up humans is what they do, basically.
Well, I mean, that's the elven way.
Yes. The city, one of the 7 largest cities in the entire Dragon Empire, having existed since before the First Age, is a metropolis. And especially with so many parts of it hanging in the air, seemingly precariously, but it all comes together. And stepping outside of the boundaries of the city and into it proper from the harbor does fill you with a great sense of invigorating warmth. Trees, what few there are here, are in bloom. Completely banished is any sense that winter has struck. People are moving with great purpose But there's also individuals who are standing off to one of the numerous magical roads or rampways, or by one of the gates, who are laughing and enjoying themselves. A stark contrast to what you folks have been witnessing thus far.
Does with my magical abilities, does this like heat and bloom, does it seem to be artificially enforced upon nature, basically? I suppose my question.
There would be no need for a roll? Yes. But then again, so is the intense wave of cold that's been striking the Dragon Empire.
It's more like a duel of wills, of forcing one way or another.
Perhaps so.
But neither is natural.
No.